and return of the universe. I am therefore forever indebted. Faith is important to me because my statement, cold is the heart that beats absent belief. Justice, I could care a little about either. Power is my strongest drive. Right words, right signature beneath them can make a man a god, and I will find both. And then truth, yes. And then truth is a five because, yeah, truth is kind of what you mean. Yes. So focuses, I guess we'll go through briefly, communicate, diplomacy and carousing because they put me in the front lines for both formally communicating as well as hobnobbing with low lives as well as at like parties and stuff.
Fun.
Pilot said, and my understand focus commerce.
All good calls. I love the carousing inclusion there. That's going to come up, of course.
I think so.
Well, that big organization has access to that much power and that much money and that many resources. You kind of have to go and chat.
Yep. You want to go through talents as well?
Sure, absolutely. And don't rush yourself. Take your time. This is great content. I love it.
Sure. So we all get guilt, which is basically talent specifically. Getting that we have connections to the guild, and though I'm not a navigator, I'm an agent. And thusly, once per adventure, I can call upon my connection to the guild to use facilities or resources, or organize a meeting with important persons in the guild. I don't have the authority to make any demands of them, but those connections for everybody. We had to do it once for free, but if we needed during an adventure, but if we needed a second time or multiple times, it costs 2 threat cumulatively. Needed the third time, it costs 4. They were expensive, but powerful. Connections are pretty powerful. Next one that I've been pushing on everybody a lot because I think it's fun is priority boarding. Call in some favors with guilds. They can pass stuff through customs. I don't have to offer bribes. Make sure that people don't look at all the creepy stuff that for people. I suppose if we can smuggle them. Pass through customs allows me to smuggle anything aboard a guild ship. However, if something is a problem or causes problems, it can be an issue for me, and I can actually lose this talent. So I have to be very careful. And last is what I got from Envoy, which is Binding Promise. A lot of people probably have this one, but either way, it lets me make a promise whenever I succeed in a communicate test to persuade someone to agree to any sort of promise or official agreement. I get to spend up to 3 points of momentum to make that agreement a binding contract. If anybody wants to break it, they must spend threat twice the momentum that I spend.
Ooh.
So they make them feel very bad about breaking the agreement with me, which makes sense because going against the Spacing Guild is very dangerous. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Good. Take that to heart. He's right about this, you guys.
Yeah. Bringing some important assets to bear with me as part of our little journey here, personal journey, I guess. I'll have access to a communinet on Arrakis, which will get us in contact with anybody on the planet. And I think beyond it says relaying information on a universal scale, so we might actually be able to use it to send messages into space. I know that Arrakis is kind of funky with that, so that's GM discretion. But
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, yeah. Yes. That's come up a few times. So it can be limited on planet.
Right.
There's times you can't reach people on the planet because the storms are interrupting the commune internet. It's
totally.
Yeah.
I also have some old contacts, specifically a black market trader to help get things that I can smuggle. So if anybody needs things a little illegal, I know who to talk to get that taken care of. Black market trader. Finally, I have my own personal shield because I'm important asset to the guild and they don't want to waste me, which I hope is handy and not dying. Also, maybe calling a worm to go kill somebody, depending on where we go. That'd be fun. Anyway, I have a personal shield. special issue or anything. It's just standard guild issue.
Okay.
Lastly, straight subtle. My ambition is mightiest nobles will seek me out for my advice and for my favor.
Incredible.
Get in.
All right. And I think you know that Lady Magdalene is a ruler, albeit a house minor. She's a ruler.
Exactly.
So you've already been chatting one up today.
Yep. My in.
Very good. I have a series of questions for you here, Dave. I wrote things down while you went through it. Okay. What is your connection to House Monterey? Is it just that they showed up at your ship today, or have you established pre-connections? You know, I know you guys have RP'd some in chat and stuff, so what's the status of that?
Yes, we've had some basic communications early on. Basically, they sought some contact within the guild to make certain that they could pass lead to Arrakis, and I took the opportunity to do more than just rent them the space in the ship. I thought this would be a good opportunity to help facilitate their passage on a more personal scale. Go over and introduce myself.
Wow. Okay. Here comes House Monterey. Here comes Spacing Guild agent Gallus Finn. Okay, Gallus. This question, it's a character question, but it could serve from your player knowledge also. Have you ever heard of House Samur?
So yes, during the conversations that we had aboard the Highliner. So we talked a little bit about their connections. I asked them why they were going to the planet, and I got the whole rundown that Doug just gave everybody their character introduction. So my character now has that knowledge as well, and player knowledge. I only know the little bits that I've read about, or like their fief and everything.
Good.
Caladan.
Okay. Good. Yeah, considering they're a house nascent in a planetological, cosmological layout with 1 million planets, and you probably know, a large. You've been to many, 1,000 of those planets or something. Anyway, it would be unlikely that you would know all the great houses, all the major houses,
right.
A lot of minor houses, and a small percentage of the nascent houses. Frankly, they're just popping up. So, however much you know sounds reasonable for however much you probably would know for now. If that changes, if you think your Spacing Guild agent, has a book on minor houses or stuff like that comes up, you can ask more, and I'm sure you'll pick up more throughout the game. Okay, so how some more will be relevant. We're still in the series of questions. The questions grow a bit. Have you heard of House Atreides?
Sure.
Not you, Dave, but you're okay. So, House Atreides is currently in the timeline. I'll speak to your existing lore knowledge and everything. Tap into that. Set the timeline. So, Duke Leto rules on House Arrakis here. House Atreides has been issued the charge of the governance of Arrakis. The Harkonnens have recently lost their contract for the governance. So the same question, what's your character's knowledge or opinion or relationship, if any, with Atreides, Harkonnens, and Corrinos? Corrino being the Imperial House, the Emperor.
Right.
And you don't have to. You can lightly address the Spacing Guild's lore relationship there, but also I'm asking in your specific character if you have connections or have flown flights, etc., or have opinions of them, etc. Go on, Dave.
Yeah. So, very little probably personal connection as Fen is an up and comer with the Spacing Guild. Probably hasn't been trusted with those high level contracts yet. Really just looking for a way to kind of start to worm his way up the ladder with the houses, and why he struck kind of low on the run. No offense to my good friends in Monterey, but wasn't gonna, probably hasn't trusted me to work with Atreides or Harkonnen or Corrino. But certainly has done his research, knowing that Arrakis for a extended stay. He would want to make certain Atreides custom. Probably learn a little bit about the feud between the two houses. I think it's pretty a public affair with the Clans around.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it'd be known to you, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So probably learn a little bit about that, so that if he gets put in a position where he needs to officially present himself to Atreides, be able to do so without too many faux pas.
Okay, so Atreides versus Harkonnen is well known enough to be like a Hatfields and McCoy situation. There's literally a line from the movie or the book that goes to the Spacing Guild that says, "Deet, deet, 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 deet. It has come to our attention that of 4 planets have come to our attention," and it's got to do with that. So basically, you would be getting reports about it and or rumors, and in my opinion, these would come a bit off like a bit like celebrity soap opera rumors. So,
Sure.
Oh my God, I heard that so-and-so Harkonnen is dating so-and-so Atreides. No, that would never happen. Yeah, and she said da-da-da, and he said da-da-da, and here's a picture and all that. So some of it true, some of it not true, right? It's a popular conversation topic.
Right.
Okay, I have one more in-game character question, and then I'm going to cover 2 mechanics things. Actually, okay, I have one more in-character question, and then I'm going to poll the room and see if any other players here have a question for Gallus Finn before we go forward. Then I'm going to do a mechanics thing, then I'm going to go to Rage. Is Gallus Finn aware of worms, and has he ever set foot on the planet, on the surface of Arrakis?
Finn has never been to Arrakis. He knows about the worms in as much as, probably maybe a little less, but in as much as like Paul learned by researching the planet he was going to prior to going there.
Okay.
But never any personal encounters.
Okay, because you mentioned having your personal shield and that you you knew that it could be used to call a worm.
That was more of a David comment than a Gallus comment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
fair. Okay.
He may know, like, probably would learn that's a terrible idea early on, but
that's reasonable. Sure. I mean, you talk to a lot of people, and you're already, once you land on Arrakis today, you already begin talking to people much that we can't RP out in this session. So you'll start picking up knowledge, yes, but when we come to a scene that, say a still suit is needed or a shield has an effect on a worm or whatever, I know at that point you'll RP it as the amount of knowledge that your agent has instead of the amount of knowledge that Dave has. So you have a shield, you know how to use your shield, and you've heard that shields can have weird effects on Arrakis.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's probably it. Perfect. Does anybody else have an interview question for Gallus Finn right now? Reynard, you curious about anything about him? Okay, before we played, I think that you guys RP'd a good amount with him, and like Jay's asked him to describe the Highliner. Unfortunately, I missed what you said. I'm sure that was great. And so, and we discussed hand waving the exact amount that they've paid you, but they paid you. But also, you've said to me, Dave, that you did some favors for Monterey. Now, I know you didn't give him a free ticket.
No. There were some crates that were passed through custom priority boarding that did not get affected. 3 crates that were found for House Seymour.
I see.
Even I don't know what's in them.
I don't know either. Shrug. What could be in them? So that happened. Great. I'm going to hit a couple of mechanics with Dave right now, and then I'm going to go to Rage to introduce their character. This is a mechanical item to the attention of, I forget who. It was to Reynard, but I think Reynard covered it with co-GM AJ yesterday. But everybody look at your assets on your character sheet and set the quality to 0. Some people had 1s, and that is probably because they think it's a quantity, like how many of that thing do you have, and they put 1. But the default quantity is 0, so all your assets should be quality 0. All your free starting assets are quality 0. So it should have a little tiny 0 next to the asset instead of a 1. So everybody double check yourselves on that. Now I'm going to do a rewind for a moment here and give out something I forgot to give a moment ago. So this will be to Duck. You still on? Oh, Duck.
Yep,
okay.
here.
This is going to be to Duck and then to Gallus, and then we'll go to Rage. And no envy or jealousy here or anything. I'm GMing the way. I have my own outlook, planning, or thoughts. I award 3 AP points to Lady Maggie for her leadership in setting up the house and RP and text to this point, and for leading the Highliner journey. So by the time you land at Arrakis, your house's ruler, Lady Magdalene, has 3 advancement points. Actually, you have 4, because I award 1 to everyone for completion of character creation and when I get your token and improve your character. So you should be sitting on 4 APs now. It's tracked on the bottom right of your character sheet. And there's a section in the rules that tells you what you can spend those points on. And it's pretty exciting, so check it out.
It's in the book, right?
It's in the book. It's in the game here, too. You can go to the Journals tab above the game and open the Dune Appendix, the top document. The Dune Appendix has a lot of stuff in it, like it has that in it if you scroll down.
Awesome.
So that's a really good, it's a lot of the core rules are in that journals here available for you guys.
You did a lot of work on all of that too. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. After I got it going, I've had a lot of help too. AJ helped arrange all of the folders, and anyway, I can't credit everybody that's done a lot of stuff so far. But I mean, AJ made that pop up for House S'more's shield also, and Duck Dubin made the House Monterey shield. So I've awarded the AP points. So I'm gonna award AP points as I come to each player, and some of them won't be 3. But your leader got 3, and that'll have you sitting on 4.
Awesome.
Gallus, I award you 1 more advancement point on top of your 1 for character creation. You should change your character sheet to 2 APs, please.
Thank you.
Now, Rage, will you please introduce Catalina? And hit your stat button. Hey, I'm good. How are you? Hey, I love your participation in the game so far. It's been great with you bouncing so many text RPs and stuff. It's been really exciting.
Amazing. Loving it.
I play Catalina. My screen name is Rage Mash, but my real name is Ryan. Catalina is the Swordmaster associated with one of the Swordmasters associated with House Monterey. She is also a Bene Gesserit. Openly, she portrays herself as a renegade within the Order. That's kind of like an open secret type thing with her. She has mended that, but they are using her as kind of a lightning rod for certain things. Whether she reports back on what she's supposed to, she may not. Her main duty, her main drive is duty. And her drive statement is, I will protect my family with all that I have. For her, her family are the Bene Gesserit and anyone that she has fought with in battle. Her second drive is faith, and her faith statement is one that would probably alarm Bene Gesserit, which is, I trust my heart, not my head.
No!
And her third drive is power. And this is another statement that would probably make her angry, which is, power is the means to the end I choose.
No! Those are both awesome. Great. That's so interesting how that relates to the book and the movie and everything. Like how that kind of comes up a little bit in the movie, but it's more of a theme on your character.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of how like Jessica's emotional and stuff in the movie, and it has to, she has her own things that semi-violate the Benny G's, like having a boy. Okay, keep play on.
In her backstory, she had a love with another Bene Gesserit, and they basically got separated, but they kept in contact. And when Catalina was 25, that sort of partner, not really, they were never together, died at the hands of her soldier. So she spent 5 years hunting down that soldier. Had a child with that soldier for the purpose of getting back into the Bene Gesserit after she basically went renegade and down. So she has a child.
Wow.
The last 10 years, she's been rebuilding her connection to the Bene Gesserit with the purpose of finding out her true lineage. And that is tied directly to her ambition, which is serve the Bene Gesserit and the house I am loyal to in order to one day undertake spice agony and access other memory to find out my true lineage.
I mean, goosebumps, because that's heavy stuff.
Amazing.
Wow. That is some in-world stuff. That is drawing me in. Comments or questions around the room? The one that came to mind for me is, where is the child located?
The what?
The child.
Where's your child?
The child is with the Bene Gesserit training currently, and one of her goals is her child.
Okay.
Which has been slightly addressed earlier.
Also, while I'm with you, Rage, what other NPCs have you created in the house? And I don't expect you to answer yes on this question. Did you create an NPC sheet for the child? Or a face token? I don't expect that to be yes.
Yeah, I do have a face token.
Okay.
I used Art Reader to make. I can share it. Actually, I was going to share that in the house.
You can take your time. You don't need to share it during the game, but share it after. And we aren't going to need the face token today unless you brought them to Arrakis with you on the transport.
I don't think they brought them. Everyone else planned it.
So it's at a distance arm length, the plot about your child, and we will be coming back to that in other sessions. Unlikely to come up in the Harvester's 3 sessions other than your personal backstory and emotions.
Yeah.
The child won't physically come up until we continue the campaign later and see what happens with the Bene Gesserit, etc. Have you declared the age of the child?
The child is about
10. Okay, brilliant.
Probably just she does have 2 assets tied to her backstory. A blade that she named after her lover, which she carries at all times and will not let anyone else touch.
Dagger or sword?
It's a dagger.
Okay. And I cringe to say this, but you set it to quality 0, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hate that people's ancestral swords and special swords are quality 0 at this point, but you can spend points later in the game and upgrade them. So, like, if you want a sword +1, that's a D&D term, you get to upgrade your sword and make it sharper and more polished later.
Yep. And she also has a slip tip, which is a very short dagger that she named after her daughter. That is concealable, and it's also the blade that she stole from her father, or her daughter's father.
Well, a litany is a lot of things, Duck.
True.
It's specifically tied to here, which is something that got her through that period of her life.
Have you gone mostly through your character introduction? I'm gonna award you APs. I'm gonna ask for if anyone else has an interview question and if you're finished with the main body.
Yes, she has to tell us more about Krellick.
Okay.
Krellick, I see him as someone that she served with when she was hunting down the Harkonnen father of her daughter. That's another thing. She does have a burning hatred for Harkonnen. We yeah, Krellick is a mentat that she trusts him enough to help with, managing spies and stuff like that. She will not trust him with anything personal. If she is like talking personally about something, she will ask him to.
Got it. Anyone else have an interview question for Rage? Rage, are you happy with the transition from the house to the Highliner and following Lady Magdalene and then landing on the transport here? And then now...
Yeah, I'm a little bit shy when we're starting.
Okay.
It might not sound that way because I sound kind of, right now I am kind of an introvert.
Okay.
But that, I mean, that's not it.
Not satisfied with starting that. I took off anti-grace.
But she's also that would know that Lady Magdalene is not gonna be standing on formality for anything.
True. Love it.
Brilliant. I realized I was asking the question on both levels, like were you happy as a player, and you are saying your character has a reason to be unhappy.
As a character, she's just like, okay, yes, I expected this. It's going as much of a train wreck as she was expecting.
Brian, thanks a lot for telling me a little bit about your personality and everything. I'll try to be really respectful of that. And you've been so great in the text RP and responsive, and to me as a GM, helping me get things going. So thanks. For your character, I want to award +2 advancement points, and this is on top of the one that I gave you for your character creation. So set your advancement points to 3, please.
All right, thank you.
Now I'm going to break in and make an announcement to you guys. Because at this time on next Saturday, or maybe even, earlier than this, at about the time we started today or so, we're going to announce a in-character parade, which will be part of Roll20 Con. So we'll be inviting you all this week to mark your calendars and show up on this time 1 week from today. And since you're all online right now, I'm hoping maybe you can all come again on next week. For the parade, it's going to be a special event for the Roll20 online gaming convention here. I know it looks like we have a lot of players in the room right now. We're going to try to set a record next week and get the most players as anyone's ever seen in Roll20. So set your settings to names only mode. But we will have everybody display your C name in chat and sequentially introduce your character, but with a much more brief introduction than you did today. So, hey, I'm Catalina, a renegade Bene Gesserit, played by Rage Match. Something like that would be your script on parade day if you attend it. And so you'll just pop up your C name and say that, and we'll go around the room and we'll get a long line of everybody on there. There'll be other treats associated with that in-game. You will get Spice from House Atreides. Duncan, Idaho will be there. You could get his autograph.
Oh, I had to do that.
You can RP and do actions and rolls if co-GMs are here to adjudicate them and have time. But the priority is on the entertaining line of PCs going through the room. The RP, in-character, IC, RP role-playing. That's going to be the focus of the party we're offering on Friday night and the parade that's going to be on Saturday afternoon. So that's next week. There's a lot more about it. I'll send you guys details later, okay?
Everybody's been emailed too, and I'll get back to you with time and everything.
Sweet! Thank you for helping me with scheduling and just general, organization and counseling me.
Anything.
Yeah, you're great.
This is amazing. You have so much on your plate. I don't mind at all.
This has been a group effort. So, that's what I do, is create a community and try to understand each person's personality and get everybody's creativity up to do the types of things that they like to do. And we all benefit from it collectively. So I think we've finished with Rage Match's character, and I want to move on to, and I only know to call you by your character name, I guess, Reynard Darksunder. Would you like to introduce yourself? Hey, I'm Gold. How you doing? We've been talking online for a few weeks. Today's my first day to go voice to voice with you as well. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
You're very creative.
That thing that makes a little thing.
Yeah, do C stats. Select your token and do C. There it is. Looks great. Tell us about your character. Also, correct my pronunciation of both your, well, especially of your character name.
Renard.
Renard. I've been saying like Reynard. Sorry, Renard.
Well, I spelled that way because the other way lacks something about the Y.
Sure.
He just goes by Ren for the most part because it's easier for a lot of people.
Okay. Gotcha. Welcome, Ren.
Thank you.
And Dark Sunder. Go ahead and hit your last name. What is that? Is that a house also, or a fallen house?
It is a house that was big about 50 years ago, but it's since fallen into the status of a minor house, so it doesn't technically have much to say other than by one of the other major houses now.
And have you joined House Monterey, or are you kind of like a outcast or representative from Dark Sunder that is in Monterey, or you're from Dark Sunder and you're on a commission with them?
I'm kind of like, okay, well, you know, like sometimes when houses have like 6 or 7 kids, they can only have 4 or 5.
Uh-huh.
I'm like 1 to 7 kid.
Okay. So you've been with
they were too small and they got me loose.
You've been with Monterey for a while, or you were independent for a long time and finally got taken in by Monterey?
Independent swordsman, professionally trained. Well, almost professionally trained. I haven't gotten the actual ENS. Can't afford it. Yeah, that's kind of thing. You have to have an actual big house for that kind of thing. And
True.
I was pretty much playing my loop there while working on my techniques. And then Magdalene sent me a message asking to talk to me for a bit, and I've been working for her.
Cool. Go on and introduce some more details about your character from your sheet there, or from your C stats.
Okay, well, as you see there, my duty towards the house they serve is kind of a big thing for me. That's the whole big number there. And in fact, it's part of an actual statement I have for which duty to actually get real quick here because I got the exact wording ahead of it. There we go. Duties to my family, house, and allies is absolute. So, but when he says he's going to do something and work for you, he's doing everything it takes, including if necessary, have himself die in combat to prove it.
Nice. Thank you for that. On behalf of Lady Magdalene, thank you for pledging your willingness to die for the house.
Oh, how long did you say Ren has been? Alright.
Just a little short while, I thought.
Okay. Yeah.
You literally just hired me.
And so that's one of your drive statements, that you are willing to give your life. I kind of get that it wasn't necessary. So you apply that drive statement now to House Monterey, then.
Yes.
Okay.
They made the contract with me. Therefore, I serve until either the house is gone or I am. Preferably me before them.
Wow.
It's kind of a Ronin / samurai kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense as to why, since one of my traits is my Kensei sword master, basically learning ancient Japanese arts. In fact, I also have that kind of laid out with the fact that my actual personal assets are a dice show, and a Wakizashi pair on my hip. I'm one of the few people who actually carries one of those. Kind of an odd type of sword thing, what they all use nowadays. Really like straight blades like rapiers and things like that.
Yes.
So I stand out, but I still have my pride and my training. And of course, for part-time for fun, I actually will learn the loop on how to play it, because honestly, you need to have something in your life other than what you're the best at when you aren't doing your job. An example, yes, I'm extremely good at fighting, and I'm still hitting people, but sooner or later, I need something to do that doesn't involve everybody.
he's at least trying to.
I love music, and I think that would attract you. That would attract House Monterey to you. That would endear you to them, right? Right?
I think so.
And you might be
Monteregians.
stuck forever now.
And I'm currently actually not the characters in the process of actually writing a play for them, but he's currently in the prologue act.
A playwright, also.
Amateur.
Very good.
Probably gonna be horrible, but I'm still gonna write it.
All right. Does anyone have any specific questions for Renard?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I do, but it's more of a mechanical thing, and I noticed. I don't know if it's.
That's why I need to fix the cheat again.
I was just seeing that you had 2 4s for your drives, 8.
Yeah, well, then they should be in.
Okay, then I think you could just bump up each one. How you want to play it?
I thought I fixed it, but I must have gotten the mouse source again.
I remember it had a lot.
Did Roll20 forget something he typed in, or he forgot to type it in?
Only the state. I haven't seen the character sheet itself. Get the stat out showing a 76544.
And well, should have 865.
Yes. Great. You should fix that. Yeah, the one in chat should perfectly mirror. I mean, it draws off the same data set.
Yeah. Make sure 8765.
Okay, if they fix it again, hopefully it'll show like it's supposed to now.
Speaking of which, how do I archive my character?
It's an outside the game thing. It's not super convenient to do it while you're playing. It's
Okay.
probably better to do it after, because it's kind of like a web page thing instead of a game table thing.
Okay.
I'll show it to you though, and it is called Character Vault. It is through your Roll20 account. So you'll go into your own Character Vault. It's a strange process. Roll20 doesn't do a traditional GUI all the time. You'll go into a web page called your Character Vault under your Roll20 profile, and you'll import your character from this game to your Character Vault. That way you'll have your own Xerox of the character. That copy, by the way, will be a snapshot of the moment that you do it at. It won't continually reflect changes that you make in this game. So if you make major changes, do it again. There's no reason to copy it every time just because you change 1 or 2 little things. You know, just keep 1 copy of it from once you've completed your bio and your basic stats, and you should be good to go. All right, we're moving towards adventure time. Let's see. Started. Okay.
Do you want to know about the ambition at all?
Yes, absolutely. If we skip that, let's cover that, please.
Well, the main ambition he has is to honor the duty to the house hired in this case, back to the house Monterey, and eventually, once that's completed, to actually train someone else in this style. Gonna pass on the whole sword skills.
Do you aspire? Do you aspire to pass that on to your own bloodline? So you want to go through a whole, or to a NPC or a PC?
A worthy student, it could be either one.
Okay.
I'll know when I'm.
So not
I'm
limited,
sure of it.
not limited to a child, to an offspring.
Correct.
Okay.
Mainly because what the guy taught me wasn't my fault exactly either.
And therefore, I'm sure you understand that's only going to come up with a PC if a player should choose to engage that relationship with you. Otherwise, I'll note that down for a long term for the campaign, and I'll try to play that out in the course of the campaign using an NPC that may come along.
Yep, I figured that.
Cool. Okay, my dog settled down. I don't need a break, so I've got tea for my voice. We've met all the characters. Jays is here. He asked not to do a character introduction for reasons. He's keeping an air of mystery about him, and he's already spoke on chat and RP'd with you guys earlier. So now we're at that scene. You've officially arrived at House Samor headquarters on planet Arrakis. Yeah, that's a good call too, Chase. Thanks for that. I don't have a picture of their house here. I'm going to emphasize to you that it is a house nascent, so their facilities are in a bad neighborhood.
So basically a warehouse in the middle of where you see people trading drugs.
Things like that would probably exist, yeah. Yeah, literally, no doubt that fits with the theme of Dune. So I'm sure there are various street drugs, and that would be going on immediately outside the steps of House Samor. Nevertheless, they have some equipment, and the PCs in their house and the commanders in their house try to keep their troops orderly. So they're cleaning their thopters and stuff. Those of you that don't know a whole lot, you're new at Arrakis, so it's harder for you to judge this. You know, you don't know how to size up one thopter versus another. The fact is their thopters are older and rustier than all the other houses that you're walking by. And they are even, of course, they're below the standards of your planet. And for those of you that are on the sort of like House Minor, noble, ruler side of House Monterey, all of this is decidedly below your standards. The planet is extremely hot and dry. The wind is whipping your face. People's fashions that they're wearing are very drab. People that are playing music. You have an excellent ear for music. You like music, but the music is kind of droning on and kind of going in the wrong scale for what you're accustomed to.
I heard dying animals sound better.
That's right. And that's as to the city of Arrakeen in general as you walk through it, and you arrive at House Samor in particular. Here, I will have to stand up for some of the players again and say that they have decorated the place nicely. Okay, there's a nice handmade sign that says, "Welcome to House Samor." They've got a welcome mat. Their tables are clean. But the place is cramped and small. Most rooms are not air-conditioned. They're using like a natural cooling method, so you gotta kind of stand still and fan yourself, and there's no servants here to fan you. All the servants that are here are busy with their various hands-on jobs.
Single man to actually tie my hair back so it's not put people out of my face then.
Okay, wait. 2 people went at once. I heard that from Reynard. Let me get ducks.
So you go ahead, Reynard.
All I was saying was like I had to tie my long white hair back so big putting bat in my face.
As you tie it back, you feel, there's some sand and grit has already blown into your hair now. You're not accustomed to that feeling when you feel your own hair. You need a shampoo.
And who was gonna get in
Shower
there somehow?
already. Showers are probably crashed too. So.
Oh, yeah, they don't have showers here. I don't think those even exist.
Yeah, probably not.
One
Showers
of the
like
bigger
so.
houses.
True.
You and car.
Rub yourself with sand. It will clean you. There's someone. Okay. Good. Doug, did I get your comment there?
Yeah, so mine is how many of the 100 that did we bring? What do we want those 100? Are they all fighters? Servants that we brought? Any of them are servants? Are they able to get into House Samor and start, like, cooking and doing whatever? If we have, that's kind of what I want.
Yep. Let's answer it as a group. I'll speak to it and get group answers as well, because I think that's for everyone. 100 people is going to be a huge cramped addition to House, quote unquote, House Samor. In other words, the facilities that Samur owns on this planet, fitting 100 people in there would be a lot, even if none of their workers and their vehicles were already there. So, this is, you're taking 25 people over to a party at your neighbor's house. That's, maybe they could fit 8 people in their living room, but you're trying to fit 25 people in. Where are they all going to stand? So some of your people are going to station along the walls. Your guards probably will stand up along the walls, like shoulder to shoulder with Samur's existing guards. Your mechanic type people will probably go to their shop and start working on the vehicles. Some of your house servants will be with you also. So there will be some of all of those categories that you asked about. Okay, what does the rest of your house say to that question?
I mean, personally, if Kathleen had a say, it would have been get as many conscripts as you can. We put fresh, trained, get them on the ground, get them basically on the ground, trained in what they need to learn for this planet. And the idea was to get as many people into different areas that are needed trained. Like maybe there's people that need to be trained in how to assist with the mine or the spice mining operations, stuff like that. Basically, getting someone that's going to be staying there and not, leaving at the first chance of a better paycheck.
Right. Are we like? I would assume that we are already building as well, or we're in preparation to start housing.
Okay, so you guys are leasing acreage in the city and setting
That's
up.
what I would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will play it that you just moved to a new city, you need to go on Zillow, you got to rent an apartment in the meantime until you buy the house you want.
Like maybe we have a place in mind currently, but we're making sure that it's, swept of bugs, swept of spies, stuff like that.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That's what it showed. The
Okay. Sorry for the clinking. I'm fixing my drink here. Okay.
Ollie did nothing. Ollie's pretending that he did all the work. All he did was write letters and send people wherever.
That's kind of pointing places and sending people is kind of what he does.
Supervising is the most important part of any task, and the supervisor always gets the credit.
Okay, let me see what Higgy's written. Good. Okay, great. All that stuff that he's written, that's in. Yes, true. Okay, so troops go to barracks, things like that. You guys could send an envoy to look at your property that you're hoping to be allowed to move into soon. There are still people there cleaning out from the house that's in decline, that's having to vacate that space. So for now, you're all stationed at House Some More headquarters. And Jays, I would like to... Jays, what's been happening is since your Harvester's Adventure, House Some More 1, Group 1 of House Some More went on Harvesters of Dune Adventure. A month ago? More than a month ago, maybe. In game time. In game time and in real time. Both.
Yeah, I think it was like in game, it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, like 2 months ago. So a while back. On that trip, there's been, I would like to co-summarize it with you for them. Essentially, you had problems with the spice operation. And by the way, just hold on, CoGM note. Don't get into the exact details. So I'm doing a rerun of Harvesters today, but I've changed some of the serial numbers and some of the settings and adjusted some things. So the general deal is House Samur operates spice operations on Arrakis, and they're only a house nascent. They have the worst equipment of anybody on the planet, and they're just not keeping up with their demands. They need to produce more spice, or House Atreides will give up their... In fact, you know what? A representative from House Atreides would probably arrive and whisper to Lady Magdalene, hello, ma'am, I see you're surveying the Samurian property. We haven't gotten a chance to get them cleaned out yet, but it seems they're in the decline. I'm sure we could move House Monterey into their facilities within the month.
We accept.
Great. Okay. I'll have my rentor agent pass on the eviction to to Grace Dalmez, the ruler of House Samor, and tell them to get their equipment moved out soon. I hope you're going to do a much better job on this planet. We need a lot more spice produced.
We will work as hard as we can.
Okay, yes, ma'am. In the meantime, I recommend you don't tell the Samurians that they're being evicted, and just go ahead and learn as much as possible from them about their equipment and stuff like that. Because you'll be operating their equipment. It will descend to you when they get, sold on the courthouse steps.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Let me know if you need anything. By the way, ma'am, we're having a ball on next Friday night, and we would love for you to come, lovely Lady Magdalene.
Of course. We'll try not to dress too nice because of the sand.
There will probably be some roughshod Samurians there too, lol. But there will be some fancy lads from the major houses. You should have a look.
Well, major houses, awesome.
He's expensive.
Yeah, we got the bougie.
Okay, so back to the summary. I'm working with Jays to impart this to the group here. I am going to give Jay some mic time on this, but I'm scared of Higgy telling
Sorry,
you guys
Jay,
the wrong
send us-
things. He'll help
You've
me.
been evicted, sir.
Tell him how bad things were. Essentially, Jays, this is what I want to tell you.
I ain't helping you shit.
Samur 2 went back out to your carry all the grief and fired Lorimer Globus. Jairus Bishop Oberon had disappeared. Corinth Euler was also never found. Or they were seen escaping on an ornithopter from your harvester, the Albrick, before it got eaten by a worm. But their ornithopter went a different way and never came back to House Samur. Now, I'll tell you the truth, about a week and a half later, Jairus Bishop Oberon got a job for herself. She got herself and Corinth hired on at House Praxis's carry-all. And they worked there for a while. In the interim, have you had a chance to... Did you know that? Has anyone from Praxis told you that yet?
Oh wait, no, Victoria told me that.
Like, OOC or IC?
I want to say, let me double check. I think it was like in a message sent to House of. Let's see. Was it? No, I don't think it was under.
Discord is great with the word search if you can remember a unique word that she said in that post.
I know.
Pretty sure it was on the previous page.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, also, well,
I don't think he knew.
you don't think he knew. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way: it wouldn't matter if you did or didn't. I mean, it would matter to your role playing, but the fact is, she also subsequently escaped from Praxis. So she's a recurring enemy that's currently at large. One could call her, in my opinion, most wanted by House Samor. But I also remember a time a few weeks ago, Higgy, when you said just like, kind of like, F it, screw her, forget about her, she's gone, I hope she dies. Something like that. Like you didn't want her to be your target of investigation. So are you still looking for Jairus or not?
I mean, she's a person of interest.
That's exactly right.
But we're not going to be. Well, like if she shows up, we'll arrest her.
Perfect.
But we're not going to be actively hunting her.
Okay.
We're not going to be spending resources to actively hunt her.
All right, Jays, take a discipline check, DC 1, off your character sheet, please. See if Jairus and Euler are anywhere here in the Samur compound or among the Monterey people that are filing in. He's looking for two people, Jairus Bishop Oberon, a black woman, and a cowboy-looking dude called Corinth Euler.
Discipline check?
Yes, please. DC 1.
DC 1. What should that be? It'd probably be duty to house.
Okay.
Yeah. And duty to one house is utmost importance is my drive statement for that.
Yes, sir.
And this is to
You scan the, there was already, 55 Simurians here, and now there are 100 Monoravians here. So you scan the crowd.
I'm not going to spend any momentum on this.
Okay.
I'm not using a focus.
Ooh. Oh. All right. Jarrus and Euler are nowhere to be seen among the hundreds or dozens of Monterey people and other house movers and Atreides overseers that are letting people in and out the front gate of your house just now.
You know what? Can I have used an asset on that?
No clue. Go on.
Like my house troops. Can I use my elite troops to help in that aspect?
Yes. How does applying an asset apply? So does it give you an additional success?
I don't know, Dave.
Or does it lower the difficulty? Because if it lowers the difficulty, you still didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it typically lowers the difficulty when you call on a trait or an asset.
Brilliant. Your troops help you lowering the difficulty to only 1 to spot Jarrus or Euler in the crowd, and yet none of them report anything to you. No, sir, we don't see that face here. Sorry. Okay. Do I get any threat off that? I'm fine with my 10 threat right now. But am I supposed to get a threat point from that? He failed by 2.
Wait, what was the difficulty again?
Difficulty was 2. You got 0. So I think you give me 2 threat. Am I wrong?
No, it's only complications. I think. I don't think failure generates threat. I could be wrong about that.
Nah, I've ran into the. I think you're right, but I admit to getting confused about these things. So please advise me to the best of your knowledge, and correct me later if you see that we were doing it wrong. I think I've done it before and not done it before because I forget what I'm supposed to and I'm not. For now, I'll get better at it. Jays, I love RP fails, man. I love RP fails. You tried your best, you got the roll, then you added the troops, you still failed. Let's move on.
Let me ask you a question though. Like I have quality 3. Like my troops are quality 3.
Okay, gotcha. How did you get them up to quality 3? Did you spend AP on that?
I did.
Oh, wow. Someone else help. We're gonna need to look it up. I don't know how to apply the asset properly to the roll.
I think it's in the book, but AJ might know.
AJ would know.
Dave.
Is he listening? AJ. He's my favorite. He's so knowledgeable.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was working on pre-gen characters for next week.
You're so amazing.
Here's the question, AJ. If Higgy wants to use an asset that's quality 3 to improve his check, does that lower the difficulty by 3 or raise his successes by 3 or what?
Kind of depends on what he's using it for. Like if he's using it for defense or attack.
Neither. He's
what the asset actually is.
Okay, he's using elite troops to look at a crowd of 150 people and find out whether 2 most wanted people are in the crowd or not. So I don't know if that's called intrigue or what, but he's using elite troops of quality 3 to look at a crowd and notice something. It's a discipline check.
Yeah, you probably have to do it the same way you do like an attack. It's basically all the combat runs the same. So you'd run it as like a combat check, right? And then an extended rolls check. So you'd set a difficulty, and he would have to roll like 2 or 3 times. High difficulty. You do like 8 for his difficulty, right? And then each success, just like an attack with a crisp knife, the numbers of the asset go to how many successes you get.
Okay, let me say this. No, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right, AJ, but this is super early in the session. It's his first roll in the game, and other characters haven't even rolled yet. So I want to do it just as a skill check. Is there any way I can adjust the skill check with the asset?
Yeah, so go like this. Let's set the difficulty at 8, right? Give him 3 rolls, and the asset is worth 4. So that gives him the chance if he gets his success each time, right? Like an extended challenge. He would have, he would basically play it out like his troops are moving through the crowd looking for people that are unnoticed. And so it takes a little time to move through a crowd like that. So that's why you do an extended check of rolls.
Okay, got it.
So set the difficulty for success at like 2 or 3, right? And then set that he's got to roll at least 2 or 3 times with a total difficulty of 8. If that makes any sense.
Makes a little sense. There's a little bit quirky about it. Let's make the total difficulty 6, so that it can be 3.
So I failed.
The way you rolled it out is correct.
Okay, so I pretty much failed no matter what then.
Well, but you get 2 more
Not
checks.
necessarily, because sometimes some of your rolls are going to be worth 2, and you can always spend momentum to give yourself an extra dice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know that.
So would I roll 2 more times?
Yep. Do the same check twice more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got it. Thanks,
So-
AJ.
Appreciate it, AJ. So discipline, duty, no extra dice, no focus.
Okay, shoot, man. You're on 1 success. No complications or anything, but you have 1 success so far, and you need 6 successes. You get to roll 1 more time. You should spin the momentum. If you're allowed.
Discipline, duty. We'll go ahead. Someone change that to this. So
You can buy more dice with it by giving the Dungeon Master threat as well.
Or that.
I spend. It's always better to spend momentum first.
Yes.
That was a critical one. Sometimes even the threat's worth it.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys
Even
choose
if
that.
Even if I
Yeah,
do,
so
okay.
You can give him 2 threat, which will give you another momentum. You can add 2 more dice instead of 1.
Yeah, I'll do that. So we're down 1 momentum, one more threat.
You'd be at 0.
Okay, so 0 momentum. Okay. Do that. So rolling 4 dice.
Exciting.
Focus, no. Yeah, I only got 2 successes. Oh, and I got a 20 in there.
Complication. Okay, so the RP narrative result is the exact same as we played out earlier.
Yeah.
Your guys keep looking around. No, sir, we do not see those people in the crowd. Nope. Neither hide nor hair of Jarrus, sir. Oh, we look for anybody in a cowboy hat, but nobody's wearing a cowboy hat, so we're pretty sure the mechanic Corinth Euler is nowhere to be found. Complication, Jay's,
I'm going to be setting the momentum back to 0, so it might mess you up again.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what? I'm not going to touch it.
All right, you know what? I'll do it this time. Let me,
you do it.
so I can see if it does
I'm
it.
afraid of messing it up.
It did it. It did it again. I must be running an API or a glitch, or either there's a glitch with Roll20 or I'm running an API that's it's doing something more than I meant to ask it to do. Okay.
I just hate this.
I mean, by default, there's a way to make it do that move, but I'm not hitting the button that asks it to do that move, so I don't know why it's registering like that. Okay. We're fine. Jay's result is Jay's result. We don't need to adjust any mechanics. They seem to not be there. We can play on from here.
Complication.
The complication, thank you. I got it. I've got one in my mind that I want to give you.
Okay.
And you can change the wording on it. And I learned that I don't like the complications tracker on the character sheet. For now, I'm preferring you to add this in a comma delimited manner at the end of your traits on your character sheet. So your traits will be like whatever, like Mentat, comma, leader, comma, and then just at the end of that line, just put complication, pissed off at Jarrus, angry at Jarrus, steamed at Jarrus.
Okay.
one of those. And you're good at playing your character, you know, he's peeved that, you know, you feel that she's tricking you.
Wait, the grumpy old Mentat is upset? What?
And so if you put it in the place I'm asking, when you hit see stats again, it will come up in there as part of your quote-unquote persona in the see stats output in the chat.
Okay, so complication, frustrated at Jairus?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, okay, you sanitized it to frustrated. I didn't know if you'd prefer a word like pissed off or peeved, or if you'd sanitize it. Frustrated.
Flipping livid.
Livid sounds more like what I was thinking. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like vocabulary. That's much better. That's more you, but livid. Persona. Did it come up? Oh, yeah, don't put a hard return in there. Put a comma. Get rid of the hard return, because it messes up that macro. That's just sorry, that's a me thing. That's a programming faux pas of mine. With that done, I think we, you know, did our mechanics that we were due to do, and let's have a bit of RP about that then. The characters that are in Monterey can decide which of you are proximate to Jay's to overhear this RP. But Jay's, it comes down to, I'm telling you again, Lorimer Globus was successfully fired by Yalt, which you asked him to do. He was either fired or demoted. He ain't the commander of that one carryall anymore. You guys have 2 carryalls. One of your carryalls is in the maintenance bay right now, and that old carryall is still out there flying around. Jairus is totally missing. Corinth is totally missing. The end. Basically, for today's Act 1, I'd like to get you guys moving to the carryall. What's the word? Shop maintenance bay. There's a parked carryall that Jay's can take you to. It's not at Simur's headquarters, but it's at a carryall maintenance facility that Simur has paid for a maintenance bay to get a broken carryall looked at. Jays, could you RP? You're probably telling the ruler of Monterey and whoever else is there, you know, if you would prefer, you get to assign the mission to them, essentially.
I think Kat's probably going to be on, like, your, like, right-hand person and probably overheard everything already.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So Jace walks, so, like, after, like, a day or so after they got back, we let them rest for as long as they need, and I pretty much offer them, would you envoys of Monterey wish to tour the carryall that we have in being repaired currently?
Personally, I believe that would be a good thing to get to know what's going on.
Perfect. I'll show you where all that equipment that you brought us is going into. So.
Oh, great, sir. Whatever. We know that yet?
Are you asking me or Jay's?
Like, in character, no. But out of character, it's just regular. But we'll see.
I would think in character that, you know, well, of course, she had full rights to inspect that. So did you inspect it, Maggie? Or did you send one of your inspectors to inspect it, or did you just do it because Jay's asked you to?
I sent several people to double and triple and quadruple check because there were rumors going around saying that he was going to be trying to smuggle something.
Well, Jays, are you sure that you've been able to prevent Maggie's troops from checking your pallets?
That's her discretion.
Yeah, no, she's checked it, so she'll know. The problem is I don't know I don't know to what extent Higgy is telling the truth in the RP. So Higgy, you'll have to tell her what was in it.
I'll tell her over regular chat.
Oh, okay, sure you will. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. He says it's 3 pallets of regular equipment being shipped from Calypso to House Samor on Arrakis by House Monterey.
Correct.
And I don't know if he paid you for that. I don't think he did. I thought you were doing it as a favor.
No, he's broke as a joke.
Right, so you're kind of trying to prop up his house as you, or at least it's under the guise that you're going to prop up his house, but it actually looks more like you're doing repairs on the house that you're going to soon be buying off of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, taking over, etc. Okay, so however much you guys reveal that to each other, in RP is totally up to you. Does your party all want to take an ornithopter or a series of ornithopters, a small fleet of ornithopters that Jace can provide, and we'll figure out who pilots them and who's in which seats, and fly across the city of Arakeen to a carry-all mechanic bay on the outskirts, where a huge hulking vehicle that's normally supposed to be up on suspenders flying is currently at ground level being worked on by its crew. Do you want to fly there?
I mean, Jace has... I'm muted.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
You're here, buddy.
Yeah, Jace pretty much has his attack thopter and 2 more regular thopters, available. His attack thopter will be escort. And 2 thopters, probably just one PC can sit with me, and that'll be 5 more people, 5 more between, so it's 10 people altogether. I could bring a few troops to help guard, alternatively, yeah.
Ren and Kat, what do you think? What do you think? Do we need to go and see this carry all being worked on or whatever?
We should inspect our equipment and make sure it's at least in working order.
I hear you.
And technically you're in charge. I do what you tell me to do.
Right, but I like to get input. I'm not a normal ruler. So yeah, we're gonna go, I guess.
I would like to bring along Crowley gift box.
Oh, we're gonna have 2 mentats, huh?
Well, the backup never hurts.
I hear you. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. And then, as far as piloting, you guys want to possibly try to fly Krellic fly the ornithopter? I mean, ornithopters are fairly easy, I think, to navigate compared to other vessels.
I've got move of 6, so it wouldn't be too difficult. I just don't have a focus.
If you House Samor has 2 pilots available to you.
I mean, I think Catalina would like to at least be a co-pilot if possible, just to see how a fully licensed pilot would fly.
Catalina's welcome to sit in my ornithopter if she would like.
No, actually no. We're gonna have a discussion on the way, Jay. So Tanev and I are gonna be in your ornithopter so that we can discuss some things with you on the...
Nope. That's fine. There's this particular ornithopter over here. Better suited for your needs.
Okay.
It's not too much trouble. I'd like to learn my way around one of these ornithopters as well. I don't mind piloting one.
Yes, Guild Agent, you can ride with me. All that you want.
Was Kat riding with you as well?
No, there's only one seat.
One seater.
2 seats. One pilot.
That's what I meant.
Thank you, Higgy. I was wanting you to cover that. Thank you. Let's do it on diagram style. I'm big on this. This isn't written in the Dune RPG game. You don't have to do stuff like this. This is my style of GMing on the VTT. Take your token and put yourself on an ornithopter. Let me pop up the picture of the ornithopter. After I do a pop-up picture, you can just click anywhere in Roll20 to disappear it off your screen. But take a look at my graphic of an ornithopter. This is not a licensed Dune product ornithopter. This one didn't come with the game. but it is someone's artistic digital ornithopter representation. Ornithopter meaning designed after an insect, but it flies by flapping its wings. It's meant to represent as it is in the movies. The cockpit of the ornithopter is it appears as two insect eyes. So the side with the eyes is the front of the ornithopter. You can have one pilot and one kind of co-pilot or, sitting in the front seat. So you can have two people in the front seat, 3 in the back on the big thopters. Jay's has a smaller thopter that can only fit 2 people. It's outfitted with weapons. We'll need 1 pilot on each thopter, and that can be a PC or one of the NPC pilots as you choose. Let's get everybody sorted out on the thopters. I'm going to call it a diagram, not a map. It's a diagram, okay?
Okay. Pat, are you going to pilot the unpiloted one?
I thought there was 2 pilots.
Right. So there's total of 3. It looks like there's 1 left that's not piloted yet. If I'm
yes. As long as she's not taking the lead in the formation, that would be a good idea.
I thought I just had 2.
Oh, well, you have a whole... Let's make sure there's enough to fly everybody. Jace,
yeah, there's plenty.
Help me out here. Yeah, there doesn't need to be a bunch of empty seats in them. That would be considered inefficient.
Yeah,
so right now...
We just need the 3, like mine and 2 of them.
Okay. So Rage, vacate that. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Let me put this pilot on with Rage. Does Catalina want a pilot on with her there?
Sure, as long as she wants to fly.
Okay, you're piloting. Gotcha. No problem. Then you don't need to take the pilot with you. So, okay, now it's Maggie and Catalina with Catalina flying. Reynard, which ship do you want to jump on, or are you going with them?
I stayed down next to my charge, so I'm in there with those 2.
Okay, aboard with those 2. Can you move your token slightly more on top of it?
His great aunt too, so Cannon will stay behind with Grace.
What about your troops and your Mintat? Rage.
Okay, so there's 2 pilots. There's a pilot in each one.
I'm taking... Okay, we can take out the pilots if they're not needed. Look at the diagram. Just look at the diagram. It's all diagrammed out there. So I've got tokens for your troops there and your Mintat there, so you can sort of put them aboard as you like.
Yeah, so how many... sorry, just confused as how many passenger seats we have.
Sure. The red airplane has 2 seats, and they're both full. This green airplane has 5 seats, and it's got 2 of your ruler people in it.
Okay,
there might be no need of taking the other one. I don't know.
At least a couple conscripts in that one.
Okay, you got that. Brilliant.
And Krellick with another conscript in the other.
Okay, so now there's 2 empty seats in this plane and no PCs. Is everyone happy with that arrangement? I'm asking Maggie. Maggie and Jace, whether they approve that. Say that again, Jace.
Put 2 of my elite troops.
Elite troops. Let me create the.
That's fine. It's fine.
All right. Okay. What?
That's fine. We don't just know that they're there.
I put
okay.
Copy icons of. I'm not going to take time to label them. They look like additional Catalina troops for now.
That's fine.
But 2 of them are Jace's. So you still have 1 NPC Thopter. You guys are happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is there a pilot in the one with Maggie and them?
Catalina's gonna fly it. She's good.
What's your move?
She's got this.
6.
Move of 6. Do you have a focus on ornithopters? I would feel a lot more comfortable if you guys had a pilot.
I think you should take out one of the conscripts and put the pilot in there.
Jace would probably be like, "Are you sure?" Like, he would be really scrutinizing you.
My thought is Jace really cares that much. So maybe he should pilot this and let his little pilot his little red thingy.
He's got to have his thing, you know.
Yep. He loves his weapon.
Is this what you guys want?
Yeah, that looks better. Got 5, 1, 2. Yep. And the other guy 1, 2, 4.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, brilliant. The RP is between Catalina and the pilot of the house. Catalina, do we need to RP that? Or are you gonna ask to pilot, in which case you'll be making the move rolls?
Yeah, and have him as basically co-pilot.
Whoa!
Assist as needed.
Whoa, cool! You have a fantastic haircut, and I'm sure you're gonna make a great pilot. Here, yank on this stick and see what happens. Whoa! Okay, you sit in the pilot seat. You've got the yoke of the, all that stuff. Like it's from the movie. You can see out the window. You've got the controls. You're pushing different buttons. He's like, yeah. Oh, you forgot to push that one. Push that one. No, not that one. No, oh. Yeah, push that one. Okay. Everything's fine. Passengers, buckle up. We've got no problem. Just a minor bump here before takeoff. Fasten your seatbelts for this one, guys. Everybody, put on your headphones, plug your ears, wear your still suits. We're flying to the outskirts. You guys take off and...
before we left.
Do what?
I put on my still suit before we left the place.
Good. It's sort of like, this is not flying outside the shield wall. It's definitely not the deep desert. It's not even the edge of the desert outside the shield wall. It's inside the shield wall, so it's one of the safer areas, but it's outside Arakeen, so it will be outside the walls of the city. Your ornithopters will lift up and oversee the view of the cities, of the city of Arakeen, including a huge building called the Residency that is occupied by the Atreides. Duke Leto is standing on a balcony about a mile away. He looks at your helicopter through your ornithopter through his binoculars. He sees you. You see that people. You see some palm trees growing in their front patio, and a Fremen is there watering each palm tree drop by drop. Meanwhile, several other people are bustling about the palm patio. They appear to be setting up for a ball or party. For expediency, I'm not going to do Thopter move checks right now. We'll come back to those later. Because I'm going to end the session soon. And we're going to schedule the next session, things like that. But for now, you will all fly to the maintenance facility, and I will reveal it on map. I'll ask you all to move your tokens down there, including Jace's Thopters. So everybody's going to be moving on the VTT to a spot I'm going to reveal and tell you about soon. It is going to be down on the map. Down below you by about 1 square. So we'll set all tokens there, and then we'll be able to sort of continue the game in text this week, but pick back up at this next scene next time we play. Okay, move your tokens, please, to the carry-all maintenance facility, which is 1 scene to the south. Yep, that's fine. If you want to be, yep, that's fine. It is sort of 3-dimensional, isometric looking, etc. So you take your time and adjust your token to where you like it set. I'll take a lovely screenshot of you. You'll get to RP with all these people and do rolls and actions and stuff, but I don't want to do any more today because it's been 3 hours of play, and that's about my limit. So I'll be around all day to hang out and prep for Roll20 Con and do more Dune stuff. So I'm eager to RP with you guys on text. But your next period of RPing in text, which you guys are so good at in your House Monterey room, will be occurring on the ornithopter ride through the city as you overlook Arakeen, see all the houses, all the headquarters, all the warehouses, the spice processing facility, the spice refinery, Duke Leto standing on his balcony, the palm trees, and the preparations for the party. Aboard those Thopters will be the scene of your immediate RP from now until the next session we play. So make a note of who you rode in a Thopter with. You can talk to those people in the Thopter in text for the next 5 days or so until we pick back up here. Duck Dubine and I will coordinate on scheduling. I don't remember when it is. I'm bad with numbers. That would be overwhelming for me to talk about it right now with as many games as we have coming up for Roll20 Con and everything. So I'll get back to you, but like I'm sure it's within the next 10 or 15 days. You know, within the next 2 weeks, we'll pick up right back here and continue Harvesters of Dune Act 1. So thank you all for playing. You see a harvester parked at a maintenance facility and a lot of workers there working on it, including a lot of S'more's crew is there on site. Okay, so out of the action, end of session, but now, yeah, player comments. You guys can talk freely or ask me things.
You good so far? Anybody have anything?
Nothing right now.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind, but I am actually, I know it's kind of a whole back thing, but I'm actually considering seeing if I can actually put together that little jaunty song you song on the way over. They actually make one actual one, see if you would think it looks good.
Absolutely.
I know very little about music, so it's probably going to be horrible, but...
Time. Sing on the way back. I don't know, but yeah, that'd be fun.
Trying to kind of get the full board into the whole thing of the house theme, you know?
Great job playing, you guys. I love your party. I look forward to playing a lot more. Of course, we didn't adventure very much today because we need to spend a lot of time on setup and me hearing about you guys.
Lots of adventure in House Monterey chat, and I'm like writing ideas for stuff for this.
Sometimes the session 0 kind of is the part of the adventure.
And so you guys you're still invited to attend the parade that I announced today and the party that I invited you to previously. The idea there, you'll fly these Thopters back to House S'more and walk over to the Atreides residence for the party. Okay, no problem.
Walk around amongst those swanky folk.
Yeah, if you choose to go there, you'll be able to do that without a move check. If you don't choose to, then you can just RP at the maintenance facility until next we play.
Isn't next week Roll20?
Exactly. Next weekend is Roll20 Con the whole weekend, and the exact time slot we played today will be the parade next week.
Okay, perfect.
So I'd love to have the same group of all of you, including the lurkers that were here today, to be here for the parade, which will be a whole different mode of RP that no one has ever seen before.
Love it. I'm down. Are you guys going to be able to join?
Definitely.
Maybe. I have some things I usually do take care of on the weekends. I'll double check. But I should be able to make at least a game at least.
Duck, you can freely ask them about. You can go ahead and start talking to them about availability for the next session. I'm just not going to listen. I'm going to tune out on that.
Gotcha.
Sweet. In fact, I'm just going to turn off voice and rest my ears and answer any further questions on Roll20 text for now. But soon enough, back to Discord. Love you guys. Have a great day. Yeah, thanks for coming.
More. You're the best.
Y'all are great. Okay, thanks.
Bye. All right, guys. Do we have anything we need to discuss or anything you want to talk about?
Well, I think from now on we should try to kind of downplay the assassin thing.
Right. It is supposed to be secretive, but I think like anybody who reads our house character sheet will know. So it's kind of like everyone will know out of character, but like in character, it's gonna be more like hush hush. I don't know. I guess I have to figure out how to.
Well, let me ask you this though: are we actually actively trying to hide it, or is it we already not care?
I mean, like they know because people are paying us to train assassins. So,
oh yeah, but they can always come up to like the front that desk at the palace there and say, "How do I get to access to the pineapple section instead of the apple orange section?"
We should. You're right. We should like code words and stuff. That's good. We should do that this week.
I know it sounds a little silly, but that's kind of a way to on the down low wall. not really going out of their way to point out the fact that they're looking for something different.
It's definitely going to be in an exclusive location. It's not going to be like everybody knows where to find it. So yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
On a brief note, it's I think it's pretty well understood that like the War of Assassins and Canley are pretty not common, but they're accepted forms of conflict between the houses. So it's not like a complete taboo to have those services be known, and you can play it. Like, I love the idea that you guys are going to play it down. You know, and kind of have it be part of your art. It's very neat.
Well, I mean, I understand that it isn't exactly so. It isn't something they would like end the house's reputation forever if they already knew. But at the same time, you get a little different type of clientele if you subscribe to two separately on separate business channels.
Sure. Yeah. As long as you guys know you won't like suffer house dissolution if somebody finds out that you work in the realm of assassins and Canley. So.
Well, I kind of see it sort of like the bards in Dragon Age. Yeah. It's we're artistic, but also they're into intrigue,
infiltration, assassination, kidnapping.
Skyrim.
Yep.
What was that?
It reminds me of the game Skyrim. I kind of like, I don't know, a little bit.
Well, Dragon Age, specifically the bard, it's not like a character class, it's a lifestyle of someone that's inside of the courts of the king and stuff. Yeah.
Your Elysian Court is full of all kinds of people who are fantastic artists and expert troubadours, but they're also, every single one of them where you look, you know full well that there's a razor-sharp dagger behind their smile.
Right.
So it's like walking into a room full of knives, essentially.
That's really cool. I like that concept.
Downside is the fact that you have to try and navigate that wall of knives while not getting stabbed yourself.
So what do we want our code word to be for assassin school or whatever?
Well, I want to stay in the thing. Just want to use whatever words, or you want to try and stay in the theme?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
You guys have like a house link.
Just have our own little code word language. Awesome.
Yeah, and my eventual goal is to have conscripts eventually become like elite troops.
Or elite assassins. That too?
Well, officially troops.
Ah. By the way, I've looked at some of the stats for like the NPC assassins, like the lower end and the upper end. It's kind of scary. One thing for certain, higher end assassins get the nice little toys like Hunter Secret drones, kill you in one cut types of poison, all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Yep, and I'm hoping to eventually have at least one of my blades pretty deadly to begin with.
As long as you don't cut yourself.
Yep.
Actually, no, you don't have to worry about that. You can just do the whole neutralize bit. I'm the one who has to worry about actually getting the cut myself.
Well, great job today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off and let you do some more house chat, but it's always fun reading House Monterey stuff, and I hope we get to RP some more together.
I do as well. I actually need to temporarily I'll log off myself here to take a short break because I haven't put some things off for about an hour or so.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Yeah, we can keep back up and do in-house chat on
you